Well, hello and welcome, everybody. When one talks about Davos, one often speaks about the most powerful women and men over here, the biggest industrialists, super high power, and growth which is often looked at from a top-down perspective. But what the government of Andhra Pradesh is doing now, and we've got the Honorable Chief Minister with us, is looking at inclusive growth. And he's looking at inclusive growth not just because it sounds great, but it actually works on the ground. It's something which he's factored in to the growth of India's sunrise state. And so this session is called One Family, One Entrepreneur, and we are going right down to the grassroots here. The focus is to reimagine grassroots enterprise in a new economic era, because it's not one or the other, it has to be growth which is inclusive. And so what do we talk, or what do we mean by inclusive growth? It's women-led participation. It's the participation of people in every household, in the smallest households, in the smallest villages, in one of our biggest and most important states. Blending skills, micro-enterprise support. It's not enough to just talk about this. It's critical to ensure that that support exists, and ensuring that digital enablement is a reality. It sounds great, but it's sometimes difficult to implement. But when it works like a charm. I'd like to introduce our panelists this afternoon. We've got Mr. Chandrababu Naidu to my left, the Honorable Chief Minister. Thank you, sir, very much for having all of us over here. Christopher Elias is the President, Global Development of the Gates Foundation. Sunya Norman is SVP of Salesforce. Sumant Sinha is CEO and founder of Renew. Rohini Nilikani needs no introduction, CEO and founder of the Rohini Nilikani Philanthropies. Thank you, ma'am. And Nigel Andrea is Senior Partner at Kearney. Thank you all very much for sparing time for us today. Mr. Naidu, I must ask you first, when you look at growth from the bottom, it's growth for youth, it's growth for women, it's growth for the smallest level entrepreneur. When you talk about the future of Andhra Pradesh, how is this key?
No, this is where I'm promoting. It should be inclusive growth rate. As on today, India is moving very fast. Sustainable growth is happening in India. And also it will increase further because of technology maturity, I can say. 30 years back, I used to talk about IT. Today we are all talking about AI. Now with all these developments, India, if you see, 7.5% around, year on year, we are growing GDP contribution. There is a potential for 10 plus. And at the same time, we are going to produce billionaires, millionaires, or inclusive growth rate. There I am working a concept now, one family, one entrepreneur. Even among gender equity, women entrepreneurs should be 50%. We are having an advantage. These self-help groups, DACRA and MEPMA. Around 10 lakh, 1 million groups we are having, 1.2 million groups. They are having 25,000 crores corpus. They are having ability to borrow nearly 60,000 crores. Repayment schedule is very prompt. If you see, only defaulters 0.02% or less than 1%. Not even 1%, 0.02 or 0.03. They are very sincere, very disciplined. How to create that ecosystem? Now, we are talking one more concept. One family, one AI use case they have to prepare, or one family, one AI, they have to use it. Either they have to prepare use case, right use case, or use AI. In a knowledge economy, sitting from a remote area, you can create a company. Now work from home is a reality. Even MSME, if you see, homestay is a reality. Even so much of wealth has been created in the rural area, remote area. If you create organization structure, MSME, micro enterprise or medium enterprise, all these things, more organized sector, more efficiency, more wealth will be created. Thereby we can eradicate poverty.
But Mr. Elias, I think one of the key points over here is, in as much as we talk about MSMEs, as much as we talk about critical growth at the grassroots, it's the quality of jobs that's also important, because that also ensures upward mobility. How do you see that progressing in a state like Andhra Pradesh? What are your key strategies? Upward mobility, inclusive growth, but quality jobs, not just any other job.
So thank you, and thank you, Chief Minister, for having us here today. The Gates Foundation has had a long partnership with Andhra Pradesh, going back 25 years, so when we started our foundation 25 years ago. And a lot of that has focused on women's economic empowerment. So your vision of inclusive growth, I think, is one that's very aligned with our interests. We see women and women's economic empowerment as an economic multiplier, because as women succeed economically, you see the benefits, not just in terms of economic returns, but in health and nutrition. It helps the family, it helps the community, and ultimately the nation. And I think what's interesting about your model of inclusive growth and the one family, one entrepreneur is that it takes the success of the self-help groups, which have been going on for decades. And as you mentioned, 1 million self-help groups, I think almost 10 million women participating just in Andhra Pradesh. That many of those self-help groups spur the inherent entrepreneurship of those women. But then the women sometimes have a difficulty connecting to the next level to build the business, to build to a successful SMSE that builds good quality jobs. So if one way to think about it, going back to some of your experiences and India's broader experiences, is you're sort of building an enterprise stack that gives those self-help group women an opportunity to connect that to skills development, credit, the market access, strong last mile delivery.
Digitalization is a key part of the entire process. From your own experience and what you've studied about, what aspects of digital empowerment actually work? Because it's often a bit of a cliche, and there is very often a digital divide. But there are aspects of technology which work and others which don't. So again, in the case of a state like Andhra Pradesh, what would be a true tech enabler?
Yes, thank you. And thank you, Chief Minister, for having us. It's been really exciting to expand our presence in India. For many years, we were more US-centric and haven't had the pleasure, like Gates, of being in the region for 25 years. But now India is our second largest employee hub, and we've been increasingly working with nonprofits in the region. And one nonprofit that's a strong partner to the local government is an organization called Producers Trust. And we've felt very privileged to work with them. They're a member of our Agents for Change Impact Accelerator, where we give nonprofits grant funding, technology for free, and most importantly, technical support. And what they've built out as an AI agent is a mechanism to connect the small-scale farmers in Andhra Pradesh with the resources that they need to the best practices for regenerative agriculture, but also connecting them more seamlessly with the government and with buyers.
But if we were to look at the transition to energy, clean energy, at the grassroots level, what are the opportunities you believe that exist for small entrepreneurs looking to actually transform the lives of their communities?
Yes, thank you, Vishnu, and thank you, Honorable Chief Minister, sir, for having all of us here. It's a real pleasure to talk on this topic, because I think your concept of one family, one entrepreneur really resonates with me personally. When I was growing up, everybody in my family had to get a government job. That was the way forward. I was sort of the only person who got into entrepreneurship. So I think that's the way forward. Unfortunately, in India, a lot of people still feel that getting a government job is what they have to aspire to. And that's why I think your focus on creating more entrepreneurs really is very good, because we have to get people to start creating value, to start creating new opportunities, not just for themselves, but if one entrepreneur is successful, they can create many more jobs as well. So it actually becomes something that can really proliferate much more broadly as people are successful. Vishnu, your question on clean energy is very relevant. As you all know, we're undergoing this massive energy transition right now. We have to find ways of developing, first of all, a large mass of people who are trained and skilled in these new areas, whether it is as solar technicians installing rooftop solar solutions on homes, or whether it is people who are working in big, huge solar factories, or whether it is people who are doing operation and maintenance of large utility scale projects in the field. All of those are new jobs that are emerging. And then, of course, there are other user areas like the electric vehicle industry, storage, and so on. So there are many new areas that are really emerging in our sector, which require us to have many more trained people. And I'll give you a stat. In the solar manufacturing industry last year, the attrition rate was almost 40%, because as new capacities are getting set up, everybody was just hiring from each other. There just weren't enough trained people to go around. And so I think there's a lot of opportunity for us just to train people into a lot of these newer areas. At the same time, we also have in India a lot of people who are working in the existing energy sectors, in the fossil fuel sectors. We have to take them and retrain them also.
Mr. Naidu, how will you implement all of these ideas, assuming you accept all of them?
First of all, I'm requesting all of them be partners with us. That is first step. So that continuous dialogue, their strengths, their organizational skills, everything we can imbibe here. As a matter of fact, as you rightly mentioned, different views you expressed. Long back around 1995, when I started IT, our madam is aware, Infosys, all these things. Nilkani has given a big gift for India, that is Aadhaar, UAID. That is the biggest contribution from him. That is a game changer even today. At the time I promoted IT, there is no clue. All over the world I went. Finally, I brought IT companies. I started engineering colleges. Then I promoted step-by-step ecosystem. Ultimately, they migrated from Andhra Pradesh to different countries. Now, 195 countries, every country there are Telugu community. How many years? Only 25 years. What is the per capita income? Highest per capita income in any country. America, if you go, highest per capita income, only these people. Even Ireland, even Netherlands, even Germany, Japan, everywhere they have spreaded now. At that time, I used to do one more experiment. I used to take entrepreneurs and prospective entrepreneurs, not with my cost. I used to take everybody along with me, one get together, local entrepreneurs of that place, my entrepreneurs. Then I used to give my presentation, this is my vision, all these things. Then I used to network our entrepreneurs with other entrepreneurs. That is where inspiration. Over a period of time, all entrepreneurs of Andhra Pradesh has become very strong entrepreneurs. Talking each other, sometimes technology or otherwise knowing each other, collaborating, so many things happen. That is where second generation entrepreneurs are very strong from Andhra Pradesh, Telugu states, not other states. As he rightly mentioned, Sinha, somebody has to take lead. Then only it will be tested, you are successful or failure. You are not taking any risk. How can you be successful? Now that is where India is moving very fast now. I wanted to go for inclusive society. Growth story should be inclusive. Financial independence, you call, or otherwise one family, one entrepreneur. Just now I asked our IBM and everybody to train AI. They are having a plan of 5 million. I am asking them to train 1 million plus in Andhra Pradesh. Mega scale. Here I request you one thing, all of you. Industry, service, agriculture, everything is going on. But value addition is missing. Product perfection is missing. How to bring all these activities in structured way, organized way, that is MSME, one family, one entrepreneur.
Ms. Nilagani, when we speak about women's empowerment, it sometimes happens independent of where the power center lies in a deeply patriarchal society that we sort of live in. So my question is, when it comes to decision-making power, when it comes to asset ownership, and not just being treated as supplementary income in a household defined by men, how do you actually change mindsets?
I think mindsets are changing. It's slower than we would like, but it's definitely changing. I think, women are in India and globally staying longer in education than men. This has changed just in the last 15 years. So also they can better see, thanks to much enabling state policy, I can only talk about India, both at the state level and at the union government level, there's been tremendous enabling policy for women. The self-help groups are just one of many, many examples. So I think in that sense, a woman who can bring economic dignity to her home automatically has a better voice. There are some exceptions, but so we do want the economic empowerment that Chris was also talking about, and which is one of their big flagship programs at the Gates Foundation. I just want to say one thing more here, that we know, as Sumant also just said, that 1 in 10 entrepreneurs usually succeed. We don't want with this program to set up 9 to fail without some kind of safety net. In the West, the free markets, they talk about free markets, but they have tremendous safety nets for their entrepreneurs. How can you imagine? So if I'm a young entrepreneur, say coming into the renewable energy sector, and I want to bring money into the family, I want dignity, I may fail the first time. How will I have the courage to go to the second time and the second time like other entrepreneurial societies do? It's because there's a societal and a state safety net that you can rely on. So I think designing that safety net so that the 9 who may not succeed will be tempted to either go back or find, because of their experience, an opportunity maybe to get a job with the 10th successful entrepreneur.
Final word to you, sir. Lots of ideas over here, lots of hopes, certainly in Andhra Pradesh. How would you, in a sense, summarize the opportunities?
I'm very happy to hear so many opinions and also how to plan further. I'm exploring some ideas with the audience also and friends also here. Safety net is a must. We have to create, how to create that safety net. One is we are having an impression, out of 10, 9 will fail. First of all, we have to make it out to successful, success rate is more. Yeah. That is number 1. That is where we are working, Ratan Tata Innovation Hub. Now main center and 5 zones. Then we will take it last mile district, supporting infrastructure, MSME parks, every constituency, plug and play. Somebody is coming with idea, then they will start the industry. This type of exercise we are doing. Second one, P4, we are working a concept. Public-private partnership, we are building roads, airports, everything. Now we are adding one more concept, public-private people's partnership. There, it is our responsibility to empower. You are doing as an NGO in a big way. So many people are contributing. Even CSR is available. Common man, Sinha is rightly mentioned, people are not in a position to select to become entrepreneurs. Not only entrepreneurs, we are all from middle class or below middle class. Over a period of time, we got an opportunity, we build our career, step by step. Now we are talking in Davos, we are teaching good governance and also so many creative activities. What I wanted to tell, successful persons, society has given us this status, why can't you pay back to the society? Adopt this type of families. Short term, medium term, long term, invest your time. What they need, they are not aware what is the right decision. Because of right time, they are unable to take decision. Suppose one person 10th class. Intermediate, he may not go. Then what parents will do? They will stop education. Then they will send him to the field work, labor. Then his life has gone. At that time, you can intervene for 3 years education. What type of education? Then you coach him. Then his life will be changed. Same thing, one entrepreneur, Sinha is an entrepreneur. Why can't he develop 100 or 200 MSMEs? Overall prospective, overall having potential. That is, once if you do, then they will compete with Sinha over a period of time. That is where I am thinking this type of activities we have to do. And ultimately, Blue Dot, as you rightly mentioned, madam, last year, International Women Day, I announced 1 lakh women entrepreneurs, micro or general entrepreneurs. We are completing now. This year, I want to announce 5 lakhs, that means 500,000. Next year, if I succeed, I can announce 1 million. People like you has to come there and inspire them, your success stories. This is where success will bring kick, then there will be more success. That is where I am doing this exercise. I am very happy all of you has given, even on the floor, you are having any doubts you can ask or you can give some ideas. We will adopt it, we will take to the logical.
We've had so many ideas over here and so many solutions from the Chief Minister and the government. I'd like to thank you all very much for being with us.